He's at my house. Can I just yeet him out?
You can do whatever you want.
Is that allowed?
Yeet the child.
You're not a child, that's the thing.
We all know he could, though. He has before.
Yeah.
Why is this not recording?
It is.
Oh, it is?
Dear, no. Hey, what up, y'all?
So, after that cold open, let's get this cold open. This has been your Cursed Sounds with Zachary Wynn. He's trying to turn this into an ASMR podcast. Holy cow! The waveform.
I say we keep it.
Okay, everybody. I'm so sorry for that. Welcome to Regarding Everything. What did we decide to call this edition?
Regarding everything racist.
Liam? No.
Alex?
We're not calling it that.
I don't know. I think it has some potential.
Alex, I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Uh-huh.
Why did you guys invite me?
I don't remember what we're supposed to be talking about.
Well, the original concept was we were going to be talking about, art. And
I just gave you all a
patronage and all that.
We're not talking about racism, bro.
We're not talking about racism.
That's next week.
Quite likely. We'll see.
So, this discussion...
When you guys get demonetized, you can
Okay,
me.
we're not even monetized.
Okay.
Liam, be quiet. Cease speaking. Peasant.
Peasant? I will not be peasanted by the likes of you.
Well, it seems as though you just were, so,
Yes.
I mean... Do with that what you will. Oh, no.
Frag out!
This is chaos.
I regret nothing.
This is chaos incarnate.
What did you expect?
That's our new podcast. Chaos Incarnate. Forget regarding everything. I want Chaos Incarnate.
No, that's what this is. It's regarding everything. Chaos incarnate is the subtitle.
All right, we got it.
That's what it is. Okay, fantastic. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Regarding Everything Chaos Incarnate.
So for our first chaotic topic of the day, I still want to know if you skinned a bodybuilder's bicep and he flexed, would it make a squishing sound?
I hate you.
Because if you think about it, muscle, like,
No, I
for
don't wanna think about it.
those of us that have like actually,
We all want to stop thinking about it. Also, you're clipping the waveform by standing so close to the, or sitting so close to the mic.
you're just gonna have like,
Basically. Oh.
This is an excellent start to the day, isn't it?
It's a great
Oh,
start to
freak.
the podcast. Yeah, exactly.
do we want
Okay.
to have like a serious topic or do we want to get our noodling out of the way?
I think if we get our noodling out of the way, it will be helpful. Very terrible for retention on the video, but, you know, helpful.
What is the definition of noodling?
Oh.
I only asked for your definition.
Zach has just muted his mic.
Okay, we are back.
Again with the clipping.
Okay, and is my
Right about there. Right
is
about
my
there is
voice
fine.
just that sexy that it makes the mic clip?
No, that's not what it is.
Yeah, sure, Zach, sure. Keep dreaming. One day some girl might love it.
Doubtful. Let's be honest here.
I was giving
This
you
is a face only a mother could love. I'm a four-eyes brace-faced freak.
I mean, I wasn't gonna put it like that, but since you did, I won't deny it.
You were thinking it. Don't deny it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chaos Incarnate.
I'm so side-willed, fellow listeners.
Okay.
Okay, let's actually pick a
Yeah,
serious
I was
topic.
gonna say let's try to get something on rails
Okay,
first.
you know what? Let's just throw. I'm just gonna throw something out there.
Yeah.
Taco Bell. Not Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yes.
For those of you fellow
Canon
deaf
D.
listeners, I said Paco. Freak. Taco Bell, not Taco Bell. So, Taco Bell, yes or no? You like him? You hate him? You're indifferent?
I've only ever heard Canon and D.
Exactly.
So, like,
Exactly my point.
he's a classical one-hit wonder, I guess.
He is, but he's not.
He's not.
He should not be a one-hit wonder. Okay, don't play that.
Well, one-hit wonder isn't bad. There are one-hit wonders who have put out a ton of great stuff. It's just they're only known for one thing in specific.
Right. I'm not saying one-hit wonder is bad. I'm just saying this man deserved better by a lot. His composition is just insane. Like, everybody knows Canon and D, right?
Yes.
But I would encourage people, just like go on this man's Spotify and listen to his top 5.
I should play this one.
Hello?
Okay.
Is it recording
One
now?
sec. Yeah, there we are. We're back.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm
It's not just the mic that I guess it's not me who hates you, Zach. The mic does too.
You love me, shut up.
Oh no.
You just got excited because there was a man in the room with you earlier.
Liam's about to kill Zach. That's what that sound was right there. That was.
And he waddled away, waddle, to the very next
I want that to be your last words. I want that to be your last words. And it might be. For all of our listeners, Liam. It has been 0 dance practices since Zach died on audio.
Well, I think I did my job. I need to leave now, so. And on that note.
My diaphragm is in pain from suppressing laughs.
Okay. You were saying Taco Bell.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, encourage people to. I would just encourage people to go listen to his top 5 songs on Spotify, aside from like Canon and D,
Okay.
because no matter like how you feel about classical music, you've got to. It takes me off when people are like, "Oh yeah, well I just like Mozart's like shoot." What is it, like Requiem?
Yeah, Requiem.
Yeah, Requiem. They're like, oh yeah, I just like Mozart's Requiem.
Doesn't take you off, Zach.
That's a
I wish I could say your face, but that
Yeah.
would be a lie.
fair question.
You
But
haven't
that-
answered my question.
That's true for all ENTPs though.
What doesn't tick me off?
Yes. I know it's not airsoft. Players, at least.
Shooting airsoft players.
That just ticks them off.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
why he likes it.
That's why it doesn't tick me off.
Nice.
Anyways. Oh, yes.
What is it?
No, unwrap it. It's a candy cane Hershey Kiss.
So what does Zach want?
Yeah, give me a kiss on my mouth right now, bro. Right now.
Oh, come on! Well, I have officially ruined Alan's podcast.
This was a bad idea.
Alright, I regret nothing.
Get out of here.
Goodbye.
See you, Liam.
You're getting me out of bit of my own house. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How the turns the table.
Well. How the turntables. Yeah. Okay, so you were saying Paco Bell.
Yeah.
Go listen to.
That gives me PTSD to the time I did it. Anyways, I just get ticked off when people know like one piece from a specific composer or whatever. Or there's like a specific sound that everybody knows that's like in every like game, movie that's based around a certain era.
Yeah.
Because that's where it came from, but nobody actually knows the name.
Yeah.
Like, oh shoot. I think it's Cello Suites in G major by Bach.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one is in so many different movies and games.
Yeah.
At least like there's like a main little cello lick that everybody knows.
Yeah.
But like 90% of people don't even know who it's by.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair guess.
I'd say that's also fair.
Because when you come from like a society where everybody likes rap,
Yeah.
and rap is what's topping the charts, like soundtracks not even making the top 10.
Yeah.
My phone needs to shut up. Please stand by. We are having technical difficulties as our kind hostess has asked for our assistance in solving music issues.
Okay. We'll be back, guys. Pausing.
Instantly.
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what would happen. Awareness and PRU prudence. There we are. Okay, so artists who
Did you start recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
I started recording whenever you said we should start recording.
Oh.
Obviously.
Oh, so then it picked up me stroking the microphone.
Probably.
Oops.
I'm very sorry, everybody, but I'm not editing it out.
My bad. You know, I feel like this thing's lying to me.
How's it lying?
It says super brain for
I can see how it's lying now.
super brain performance. What the frick is a brainberry?
A brainberry?
Formulated with brainberry.
Well, I don't know. Quite honestly, that sounds like marketing to me.
Yeah, probably. Like, yo guys, check out my brainberry drink. Yeah. Yeah.
Cocaine's rebrand.
Yes. Give me the cocaine.
In a
Please
police officer's house.
It's a joke. It's a joke. For legal reasons, it's a joke.
Yeah.
I snorted coke
Right.
once, and I told my mother. She wasn't very happy with me. I was 10. I didn't know any better. She got real mad at me. She was like, "Why would you snort coke?" 10-year-old me just didn't understand what the problem with putting a soda up my nose was. So,
You know, the joke would be a lot funnier if you couldn't see the punchline coming from literally 15 miles away.
no, that's the point of the joke. You watch it walk up to you from 15 miles away, like you're sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah.
And you know it's coming. And whenever somebody says it, it's like the joke just slaps you across the face in a backhand of disrespect. Because everyone saw it and everyone knew it was there.
Yeah. And everybody knew it was coming.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as you were saying before,
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Bach, cello,
Yeah, it's
quartet.
G major.
That's the one that everybody knows.
Yeah, just people need to like look into classical more.
Yeah.
And Because if you look at it, classical's composed like very similarly to like how rock or metal was.
Yeah, but
Just
like good rock and metal.
yeah.
Hello, Charles. How are you doing?
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Adios. See you next week, I guess.
Probably.
Bye, goofballs.
Bye, fellow goofball.
Hey.
So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad that it had gone. Okay, I'll shut up.
On one hand, classical music is better. On the other hand,
Metal.
singing that.
I mean, I don't even know if I can do it. I could do it earlier today. Would you prefer?
So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad that it...
Yes, that's what I would prefer. That's exactly what I would prefer.
Oh. I feel like every time we try to do a podcast, our autism just flows out.
Probably, yeah.
It's worse than when I play airsoft.
Yep.
How do you know? How would you know? Huh? Because you haven't showed up.
You've told me stories.
Uh-huh.
A lot of stories.
Should I tell some stories for the podcast?
I think we should actually work through this topic, though, because it's kind of interesting, your classical music angle.
Okay.
Because, like, you actually know what you're talking about. I'm trying to get into classical music. So
I wouldn't go so far to say I know what I'm talking about. I would just say I used to be obsessed with classical.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
You at least have some knowledge. We'll go with that.
Yes, I have knowledge.
Some
I'm not-
actual knowledge.
Yeah.
The goofball is back.
Hey, you're a goofball.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
But I feel like
One iPad, 2 iPad, and 3 iPad.
iPad Pro. Very nice device.
Play an iPad.
It's an iPad Pro.
also
It's
known
an
as
iPad
tell
Pro
me you're
11
rich
inch.
without telling me you're rich.
Because I have one exactly like it right here.
Sits here with broke Android that only half works. Imagine having money.
Are you at 17.1.2?
Yes, 17.1.2. 17. Yeah, 17.1.2 is the last one I updated to.
The feral Apple users are attempting to communicate in the wild. I do not understand their language, but it seems that they're trying to convey the newness of their devices.
Not exactly the newness of our devices, the newness of our software.
Crikey! It's angry! It's getting mad at me!
The waveforms, dude.
Let me see.
Prepare to update!
Somebody needs to clip just me saying crikey at distorted, absurdly loud levels.
Yes, that's exactly what we'll do.
Thank you.
You want to sit down and join us? Oh, you can sit. Oh dear, the mic noise that you are creating just by moving the mic around. You're laying down with the microphone.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh, did you mute it?
No, I
No,
did not
you
mute it.
didn't. Okay. I'm going to stop recording your section.
Bruh.
It's not recording anymore.
What did I do? Is that better?
No.
It just said no, shut up. It's really not recording anymore?
No, it is. I couldn't stop it without stopping the recording altogether.
Oh, okay, that's
It's so bad. I'm actually just gonna have to cut that in the post process.
Oh, it's fine.
Prepare to update
No.
so
It does take a long time to prepare to update. No, it's software recentness. The latest update is 17.1.2. Oh, sorry, forgot. Android user, you don't get software updates past 2 years.
That's a lie. I've had one every year for the last 3 years.
You've had a security update.
That's a lie. I've gotten new emojis. Once, since I got my phone.
Okay.
I've had my phone for 3 years.
Pull your phone out. What's the Android that you're on?
You ready to hear how broke I am?
You're going to tell everybody that all of the, 0 people who made it through the first 20 minutes of this recording?
Yes.
Hello, I'm Micaiah. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, just recording a podcast.
That is...
It's fine.
Oh, no, it's fine. This episode's called Chaos Incarnate. So, latest update. August 19th of this year.
Okay, no, what OS is it? Like, what's the number?
It is A215USQUBCWG3.
Okay, that is not the answer that I'm looking for. The latest version of Android is 14.0, apparently. It was released October 4th, 2023. Can I see your phone?
No, you cannot. Since you asked.
Can you search? Can you search in settings and look up Android version?
Ooh.
That's a great question.
Installing in 3, 2, 1. Verifying update. Oh, just turn it off.
Android what? Version?
Android version.
I'm running Android 12.
You are 2 years behind on actual updates. Your phone got 1 year of updates.
Yep.
This is the iPad Pro from 2019. Yours probably is as well, unless it's the M2, because the M2 came out last year. But I'd assume it's an M1.
Grand?
No, M1 is Apple's like high-end series of serious processors. So you've got the M1, the M2, all that. Just like in their iPhones, you have the A16, the A17.
Oh, okay.
And on the watches, you have the S9 is what they're
Look at
currently
me.
in, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay, anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I've lost my train of thought so many times.
Yeah, that has
You want to
happened.
just pick a different topic?
Well, we were talking about classical music, and you were saying that you don't actually know what you're talking about, but you do have some level of knowledge about it. Has all of the knowledge left your brain? Because you're giving me the all of the knowledge has left my brain look.
It hasn't left his brain.
Okay. Zach has been reduced to the state of a bumbling idiot. We need to reboot. No. You reboot by going out. No. That's not how.
Reboot in process.
We have 24 minutes of absolute useless footage.
Don't lie. It's very useful.
Hey, at least it's
I'm gonna play clips of this at your wedding.
I respect that. Whenever I get married, I gotta find somebody that will let me do the huddle right before I agree to marry whoever I marry. Like, I'm getting the boys, we're grouping up, we're gonna have a contract. It's gonna be a whole ordeal.
Oh my.
I'm gonna have to find somebody that's patient.
Yeah.
If you can't tell by the 20 minutes of random crap.
Yeah, 25 minutes now. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
JM.
J.M.? Mm-hmm. J.M. Barrie?
No, you said okay, so I said JM. First two letters that came to mind.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why are we bringing up Peter Pan?
I haven't seen Peter Pan, so I would not have.
You
gotten
haven't
that.
seen Peter Pan?
I haven't seen it. Haven't read it. Name a Disney movie. Like an old Disney movie, and I've probably not seen it.
Robin Hood?
Nope. Well, maybe.
The one with the fox.
I think so.
Oh my word.
Keep naming them.
Cinderella.
Nope.
Snow White.
Nope.
Sleeping Beauty.
Nope.
Your mom.
That. Charles just made your mom joke.
Up 5, little man.
No,
Or high
don't
five.
encourage him.
High five.
Don't encourage
This
that.
is the way. This is the way. This is the next generation.
I'm scared. Deeply.
Keep naming them. Haven't seen any of them yet.
How have you not seen any of these? Black Cauldron.
I think I have actually seen that one.
That's the worst one of all the ones I've named.
I think it's because I read the book.
Yeah. The book was okay.
Book was better than the movie. Remember that.
Book was way better than the movie. You
movie
kidding
was
me?
whack.
Dad wants some milk.
The-
Okay, continue. Continue. Keep naming movies.
yeah.
Don't get derailed. Use that brain berry, bro.
I have a milk. I want
No, we're not using the brainberry juice. Or at least
No.
I'm not using the brainberry juice. You can use the brainberry juice all you want, but I'm not going to use it. This is me stalling for time looking up Disney animated movies.
Haven't seen Aladdin either.
You haven't seen Aladdin?
I haven't seen any of the
Okay,
Aladdins.
Little Mermaid,
Nope, haven't seen it.
Beauty and the Beast.
Haven't seen it.
You should absolutely watch Beauty and the Beast. It's one of the best movies ever made, just full stop. Not even animated movies.
Okay.
You said old Disney movies. I was just assuming you had seen all the Disney Renaissance films.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, wow. We need to get you on the phone with Joshua. Okay, so Disney has had a couple of different eras.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now I know what you mean by that. Yeah.
Disney as a company has had several different eras. You had the original like animated classics era
Right.
that is basically Snow White, where the first feature-length animated film, to about Black Cauldron. Technically, it was a little bit before Black Cauldron, going usually back to Robin Hood because they were dealing with financial troubles. That's why Robin Hood reused a lot of the animation footage. But then they entered a dark age for a fairly long time, if I remember correctly, about 15 years. But then in the late 80s, was it late 80s? Mid 80s. Mid 80s up to 92, I believe, was when Mulan came out. They had what was called the Disney Renaissance. And that's whenever you get things like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Little Mermaid was the first one to like kick it off, if I remember correctly. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Rescuers Down Under, Tarzan, the Mulan, all of those.
Is Mulan the one with the little red dragon dude?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen Mulan, but none of the others.
That is, in my opinion, the second best Disney Renaissance film.
Okay. I've seen
Beauty and the Beast is obviously first by like leaps and bounds, but Mulan is second.
Is Lady and the Tramp Disney?
Yes, Lady and Tramp is Disney.
Okay.
That's earlier Disney.
I've seen that as well.
Yeah.
Hello,
You're being paged, guys.
Charles. You're 7 minutes late. Come on.
See you guys.
Can you go to the bathroom? Brennan, do you go potty? Okay.
See ya. You can move over here. But yes, Lady and the Tramp was earlier Disney.
Okay.
Not-
so I've seen
not
a
Renaissance.
few, but
Yeah.
I'm still a disappointment.
You should, you kind of owe it to yourself to go through and watch just all of the Disney stuff. even if you don't enjoy it particularly, it's almost all extremely important to the history of filmmaking. I guess that was the shoe dropping.
I don't know what that was.
It was a box of some form. I saw it behind you. But no, like if you care about the art of filmmaking, which I know you do, like it's not one of your primary, what was it? Game? Unlock.
Huh.
Okay. I know that you care a fair bit about it because we've talked about like Annihilation and all those. But if you care about filmmaking, you kind of owe it to yourself to go through and watch the Disney stuff, at least the big hits. Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all those.
But that requires giving money to Disney.
Not if you torrent it.
It's true. Thrift stores do have DVD sections.
Oh, I was saying piracy.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yeah, but like they're generally pretty dang good movies. Like Little Mermaid is extremely trans, even though it came out in the 80s. But Beauty and the Beast is just phenomenal. Mulan, you said you've seen, but
I enjoyed Mulan.
they're
Quite a bit,
just
actually.
phenomenally well-crafted tales.
I will definitely give some consideration to it. It's just right now, anytime someone says Disney, I just like...
Oh yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing. This will actually make you go more because you get to see what they once did.
Oh no, I've seen kind of like what they once did. Like I feel like I got a taste of that with Mulan and
Yeah.
Oh, I have seen Bambi. I was
Oh.
forced to watch Bambi.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I laughed when Bambi's mom got shot. I'm gonna be honest.
That tracks.
I laughed really hard.
That tracks. Yeah. But no, they're just good.
Okay.
They're almost universally good. And some of them are great.
While we're on the topic of movies,
Yeah.
well, let's go down this rabbit hole.
Okay.
I want on record, on audio tape, your official thoughts on the Godzilla movies.
Well, I do pride myself on having an opinion on everything. However, my opinion on the Godzilla movies is incredibly uninformed because I've never seen one.
You can no longer blast me about Disney movies.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Disney
No, you
movies
can't.
are far more important to the legacy of filmmaking than Godzilla.
In a way, I would almost disagree with that.
You're wrong.
How so?
Okay, so as far as I understand it, Godzilla effectively created a genre with the disaster movies. Is that correct?
Effectively, but it's
there
not.
were technically ones before it, but they were
created-
extremely small. Godzilla created the disaster movie.
Basically,
Okay.
it created the Monster Carnage movie, but it's also one of the. I'm not going to say the earliest, but definitely one of the more early popular movies that like first brought in a type of political advocation into a movie, because in the original Godzilla movie made by Toho in 1954, Godzilla comes from the nuclear bomb being dropped on Japan.
Yeah.
And Godzilla represents America. If
Yeah.
my understanding is correct, because America destroys Japan. Japan's still kind of mad about it, but
Yeah.
In a way,
This is
right?
what I've heard too.
right, in a way, rightfully so. But, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fan of political advocacy in movies, but from that point on, you really start to see it come out more. I'm not super familiar with what happened later, like from 1955 to like 1973. And the reason why I give that specific time window is because when Star Wars came out, I know this is a whole rabbit hole that we could make.
Oh, absolutely. You just said
about.
Star Wars. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah, we could make hours long episodes of Star Wars. But
Absolutely.
you start to see some political and worldview influences in Star Wars too.
Oh, absolutely.
So, in a way, and maybe I'm just like pulling like really hard because for me, Godzilla movies are nostalgic because I grew up watching them most every Saturday morning till I was like 11 or 12 with my dad. It was just what we did. But in a way, it started to set a trend of, oh, hey, we can communicate things through the art of movies.
Yep.
Which, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of political advocacy in movies. But if you want to put like your insert air quotes opinion or anything regarding that end quote air quotes, you can. There are ways you can do that, and you can look at those older movies like the original Godzilla movie, even the Star Wars movies, and you can see like how you can implement your ideologies while still telling a good story. Because let's be honest, worldview, as you've said, philosophy affects everything.
Yeah.
Everything comes back to how you view the world and the world around you.
Exactly.
So, to me, it is a very important, or maybe equally important, movie because, yes, like you said, it also started the disaster genre. And let's be honest, as guys, we all enjoy a really good pointless action movie from time to time.
I don't.
Yay.
No, like the only disaster movie, there are two disaster movies that I actually thoroughly enjoy. Independence Day, because just raw American patriotism.
Yeah, and the writing in it was actually decent.
Yeah, the Today We Declare Our Independence Day is a great speech.
That speech was so good.
It's a great speech. David Arnold's score, just masterful there.
Yes.
The other one is 2012. Which is one that nobody ever talks about at all. Everybody talks about Emmerich's other films, but nobody ever talks about 2012. And I actually think that it's probably the best of his movies. I've seen almost all of them. I've seen San Andreas. I've seen Day After Tomorrow. But 2012 actually deals with interesting philosophical conundrums of like what is worth saving. And to what ends would you go to save those things? Like, that's the stuff that I like. I'm not for the pointless action movies. If you want a pointless action movie, go watch the new Marvel stuff.
Yes, 100%. And that's kind of what I meant. Like, from time to time, we all enjoy something that's just like, okay, let's just mind numb. Because we live in a world of, like, complete, total overstimulation 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, even if for you, maybe action movies aren't just, like, mind-numbing or whatever, where it's just like, oh, okay, I can just sit down and testosterone type thing, then, I mean, that's perfectly fine. I just... As a general rule, that's what most...
As a general rule, I completely agree with you. You're absolutely right. That is like high 98% of guys. Absolutely. They love the action movies, all that fun stuff. And
if you like movies that like disaster type movies that address like real world issues, like what would you do in this type of scenario?
I like movies that have something to say.
Okay, I'm going to bring up a movie for legal reasons to the homeschool community. I cannot recommend this movie. For anyone who is listening, said movie was shown to me by my parents, by the way.
Who will remain anonymous.
I put all these disclaimers on it because it is in my opinion, it addresses what would happen in an apocalypse scenario very well.
Ooh, okay. Very interested.
I think it's 28 Days Later. It's something like that. Hold on one second.
I've heard of that.
I will warn you. So I'm like, you know me. I love horror games and I love horror movies too.
Yeah.
And
28 Days Later.
It's 28 Days Later.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy. Christopher Eccleston.
I didn't think Cillian Murphy was in it. Hold on.
Is it Cillian or Killian?
It's Cillian. 28 Days Later. I'll know it once I see the cover art.
It's like the Biohazard logo with weird eyes.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Okay. This movie, if it's been a little while since I've seen it, so bear with me for a second. But this guy and his wife are trying to survive. It's like a zombie type movie, except instead of them being undead, the virus just fills them, like whoever it infects, with just like this uncontrollable rage. Like they're frothing at the mouth, and it's like they're having rabies and an adrenaline rush at the same time. So they're like abnormally strong. They can bust down doors. Very dangerous type virus, and it's highly contagious, right? Well, one of the things that is addressed in that movie is could you kill your own family member if they were infected?
Yeah.
It was a father and a child, and I believe the child had to kill their father because the father was like starting to get infected, and that he said, "Kill me. I would rather die." So, something along the lines of, "I would rather die."
the people I love. Yeah.
Right. And like I said, it's been a while since I've watched it, so don't quote me on that. But that was the general point of that scene.
Yeah.
Another one was this one. For those of you in the Teen Night server, this is a heavy Rule 9, protect the children topic. It addresses this military unit is stranded, right? And so they were in a convoy when this virus broke out and took over.
What movie is this?
28 Days Later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's still same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. But they're holed up in this big mansion, right? Like I think they just found it, so they're like, okay, we'll just hole up here. And because it has like these big open, flat, well kept grounds, they can see and they can set up defenses pretty well. Well, this guy, Cillian Murphy, and the lady and the girl, the lady and a girl he was with trying to survive, they end up there. And so they're all real hospitable, but those guys believe that they're like, that those people there are like the last people like alive, period. And there are
euphemize.
What?
Euphemize heavily.
Yes. There are 2 females in their midst. There are mid-20s military guys who believe they're the last humans on planet Earth.
And just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
I will warn you, it gets messed up.
Yeah.
Gets messed up in a hurry.
Yeah.
Dropping that side of the topic because we can already kind of figure out what goes on there. They try to get rid of the guy because of, well, big gesturing. They try to get rid of the guy because they know the guy's not going to let it happen. And so they lock him up. And he somehow gets out. But they take him like out back to shoot him or whatever. But something happens. And this dude just dives into this pile of dead bodies. Right? And these are not like...
Hello.
Hello.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're calling the podcast Chaos Incarnate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's so you're saying that it actually has something to say, though. It's like taking a realistic look at how, or at least trying to take a realistic look at how people would deal with it whenever they're pushed to kind of the edge of human thinking. Like
Not kind of.
The ability. the ability for humans to reason with a situation
Right.
at the nth degree.
Yes.
Effectively is what they're trying to deal with.
It approaches it. It is a very difficult movie to watch. Mm-hmm. And like I've said, that comes from someone who watches like horror movies and horror games for fun. And a lot of people consider like some of those horror movies to be hard to watch. Like John Carpenter's The Thing. That's a notoriously difficult one to watch. I watched it, I don't know, like a week ago or something. And I stayed up too late and I shouldn't have. But I watched it.
I will yell at you to keep healthy habits until you do.
And I will ignore you. But
I know.
anyways, I watched it, and one of the scenes that like really disturbs people or whatever is, so John Carpenter used what? I'm not gonna get into details.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get into details. So everything in the movie is practical effects, basically.
Oh, okay.
However, they're done extremely well.
Yeah. They're not janky at all.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're like disturbingly not janky.
Okay.
Practical effects. They used,
Say what? Got it.
if I remember correctly, like there's a scene where like because what happens is like the thing or whatever tries to mimic other forms, and while it does that, it's like real like stretching and contorted in weird shapes. So the way they like use like stretching skin of some sort is they used heated bubble gum, I believe.
Interesting.
If I remember correctly. But at one point they're trying to like kill the thing or whatever, and while it's shape shifting, it was trying to take the shape of this one guy, so they lopped.
Yeah. Yep.
Removed the ability, the thinking part.
Yeah.
And then so thud, and then it sprouts legs, and then goes crawling across the floor like a spider.
Oh no.
Yeah. And that's one of the scenes that like really gets people.
Yeah.
In The Thing. Personally, I thought it was kind of interesting because you don't see that very often.
Yeah.
But
I'm
solid practical effects.
Yeah.
Are quite impressive. Like even if it's like
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. It's you have to appreciate it from
and that's probably where I would be. I don't watch horror movies often at all. Like never actually. the closest that I've gotten is like what's the movie? Quiet Place. Duh.
that would count
Quiet
as
Place.
a horror.
No, it's
It's like a thriller horror.
yeah, it's thriller or suspense. One of the two.
I can classify it as a horror though because it tells it like a horror story.
Maybe. I don't know.
And the reason why I say that is because it like brings in something new,
Yeah.
right? Like the whole thing about you can't talk or you can't make a sound.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say you could classify that as a horror movie.
Okay.
But one of the reasons why so I'm picky with my horror movies. I will say that. Like, I honestly didn't really like It. I haven't seen the original one. I will at some point. But I saw Chapter 1, and it was okay. It was more of just like okay, that's just messed up.
Yeah.
Because the whole You'll Float 2 thing with It is for those of you that know, It, or those of you that don't know, It like eats kids or whatever for some reason. I don't know why. That's what Stephen King came up with. He eats children.
Yeah.
And his whole You Float 2 thing is he just saves something that he doesn't eat and hangs it from the ceiling. Like, who sits there and thinks up that type thing?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Stephen King's mind is got to be a dark place.
Yes. The one thing of Stephen King's that I've thoroughly enjoyed was The Mist.
Okay.
That movie was it was very close to the book. If you like movies that address like how people would respond in like situations of like SHTF type situations, you should watch Stephen King's The Mist.
Okay.
It's another one of those movies that's kind of hard to watch. It's a Stephen King movie. It's not, and even for that, it's not like overly graphic or anything. Like there are parts of it that's like, wow, okay, that was slightly unnecessary.
Yeah.
But like that if you sign up to watch a scary movie.
Yeah.
So, but if you
Which is why I don't want to sign up to watch scary movies. I understand it's a taste thing.
Yeah,
I completely understand.
I don't like gore.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely don't like gore or anything, but I enjoy horror movies because we do live in like a society where
You did the meme.
What?
You did the meme. We live in a society.
Oh my gosh. You want to know how I got these scars, Batman? Can't finish the rest of that monologue.
Yeah, better
I have
not.
my own version, but anyways. But we live in a society that, yes, is completely oversaturated with disaster, pointless action movies. So whenever you find a movie that's like, oh, wow, okay, this actually tells a really good story.
Yeah.
And all that. And in my experience, to be quite honest, generally speaking, movies that are rated R actually tell better stories than PG-13. Generally speaking. I mean, there are exceptions. A Quiet Place, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's PG-13,
Yeah.
right? What's a good example? Oh, shoot.
Are you just talking specifically horror movies or PG-13 in general?
Oh, no, there's plenty of good PG-13
You're
movies
talking
out there.
specifically PG-13 horror movies.
I'm talking like, well, yeah, PG-13 horror movies, with the exception of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. But that wasn't horror. That was more of thriller. I don't know why they labeled it horror. They should have just labeled it thriller.
Okay.
But if you really like, generally, I'm going to throw action movies in here. R-rated action movies generally have better stories than PG-13 ones. Like, I generally enjoy them more. Not because of, like, violence content or language content.
You're saying that they tell better stories.
They tell better stories because, like, they're in the action genre. So it's more accurate action.
Okay, but does accurate action make a better story? Because I would argue that it can enhance a story, but if the story is not good to begin with, then accurate action doesn't actually make it better.
Oh, no. I agree. Extraction with Chris Hemsworth
Okay.
yes, there were parts of it that were definitely more on the absurd, like, action side. But, and you could argue it's kind of a stereotypical action movie and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was actually surprisingly good. I honestly had low expectations, and I didn't really want to watch it because I thought it was just going to be like another, like, kind of like red meat action movie type thing. But I was surprised. It's not like an amazing movie, but it's surprisingly good. And I feel like if it had been PG-13, I would have just been like, okay. Because even though it was like story wasn't like top notch or anything, the realistic action in it gave it kind of a scale, like a feel, like a feel to it.
Okay,
It gives it
that's
a feel.
fair. That's fair. Saying that it makes for a better movie is one thing.
Right.
That's fine. I
depth.
completely agree with that. From what I hear, that's what John Wick #1, like the first John Wick movie is. There's very little story to it, and
Oh, yeah.
what there is not a good story.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's just anemic at best.
Yes.
But super hyper focused attention to detail action made it a really good movie, even though it
Yes.
wasn't a good story.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it gives it that a feel.
I totally buy that.
Yeah. And you can only really get that, I've noticed, with the R-rated movies, because like if you like take a war movie for example, it's not going to a PG-13 war movie does not feel the same as an R-rated one. Like if you watch Saving Private Ryan versus versus War Horse. War Horse is a PG-13. War Horse is World War One. So, and it's kind of a different concept, but still, I haven't seen all of the movie, but I've read the book.
Yeah.
And in the book, the horse is still in the trenches and still dealing with bodies, things like that. And because it's PG-13 in the movie, I'm assuming it's not going to be anything like crazy. It's probably just like, oh, that person's dead type thing. Whereas Saving Private Ryan, the opening scene is like, they actually took the time to add in the attention to detail of true realism.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Some veterans can't watch that movie because it sends them into PTSD. One of the parts that really got to me when I watched that movie the first time was there's two specific scenes I remember. It starts with this guy recounting his experience on Omaha Beach, Normandy. And now, as everybody listening, I'm sure, because if you're listening to this, you know us too, more than likely, and you know we're nerds. And if we know you, you're probably a nerd. Omaha Beach was bloody, bloody, bloody.
Yeah.
Like, those beaches are still stained feet deep with blood.
Yeah.
How much blood was shed. But it's the guy remembering his experience and what he saw. And two of the specific things that you see are there's this 18, 19-year-old kid who's just standing in front of like this tank trap on the beach. And he's holding like from maybe 6 inches down from his elbow, the piece of his left arm and hand. And you can see the bones sticking out from his arm, and he's just like staring at it with a blank look on his face, and he's like trying to put it back on his arm. And then he'll like rock. And if I remember right, he like walked into the tank trap and looked at it again, tried to put it back, completely oblivious to the machine gun fire around him.
Yeah.
And then there's this other guy who, I don't know what happened to him, but he's still alive, but he's like cut in half, and his insides, like you can see his intestines, and he's just like you can see him like just looking around, saying like blank look, like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
And like you watch that movie and you're like, oh my gosh, like it's supposed to like
Yeah.
hit you hard. It's supposed to suck to watch.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be pleasant, because Steven Spielberg, who directed that movie, genius. The way he wrote that movie was actually, I love it. It is one of my most favorite movies from a cinematic, or like maybe not cinematic, but let me think how to say this. Portrayal of events, I should say. Like, if someone's gonna ask me, well, what's your favorite like historical movie, I'm gonna say Saving Private Ryan or 1917. 1917, just because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Cinematographically and score-wise, amazing.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other rabbit trail.
Yeah.
But Saving Private Ryan, yes, there's unrealisms in it with any movie, creative licenses, things that didn't actually happen, blah blah blah. You can say that, and it's true. There are those little niche corners of the movie, and maybe there are some that are not niche. I'm not an expert. I don't pretend to be. I've just seen the movie once or twice, and I loved it because it's one of the few movies that actually like gives you that feeling of, oh my gosh, war sucks.
Yeah.
And like you can say, okay, war sucks, and I can't say from experience because I've never been.
Yeah.
I pray I don't have to. I will go if I have to, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to watch hard movies to watch.
Yeah.
Specifically addressing those issues, because one of the things, I'm going to get off on a soapbox here.
Okay.
Our generation does not appreciate life like previous generations.
Define previous generations.
Like I'm gonna use
Because I would argue that it actually pushes back to the greatest generation. Like
That's the generation I'm
this is a
talking
problem
about.
with the boomers. This is a problem with the Gen X. This is a problem
Yes.
with millennials. This is a problem with Gen Z.
Yes,
It's going to be
yes.
a problem with Gen Alpha.
Yes, 100%.
So it's not just our generation. It's
No.
modernity.
Right? Yeah. No. I know what you're saying. I agree. I was just
Just wanting to make sure that we define our terms.
yes. Thank you. Muchas gracias. But we just don't have an appreciation for life like they did, because they had to go through like the Great Depression and World War II, at least most of them. I remember talking to my great grandpa. I actually got to know him very well. I believe I was like, let's see, that was 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I think. Or 2. Either way, I was 14 or 15 when he passed away. Maybe a little older, probably about 15. So I got to know him pretty well.
Yeah.
I got to talk with him a lot, and we never really talked about like him growing up a whole lot, because he just wasn't a talker.
Yeah.
But whenever he did, he said he remembered the Dust Bowl. He remembers the day World War II started.
Yeah.
And life was not easy, and we have life so easy now.
Yep.
Like, I can go on my phone and look up, when did World War II start?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, 30 years ago, I'm going to say 40 just to be safe, because I don't remember when the internet came out and invented.
30 years ago is a fair.
Okay.
That's
30
fair.
years ago, you'd have to go
90s.
to the library if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
So we've got life's progressively gotten easier, and so we just haven't had like the same appreciation for it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And I think part of that is why I'm going to say part of it, because this is a huge issue.
Giant issue.
Giant issue.
Insanely
think-
expansive problem.
Because life is so easy, these generations don't appreciate it as much. I think that's part of why we're seeing more and more elevated suicide rates.
Yeah.
Because if you don't realize or have to live through something hard ever in your life,
Yeah.
and life is easy, and then all of a sudden you don't get what you want,
Yeah.
then you might just be like,
Yeah. As
What's the point?
soon as something mildly difficult comes along, then you're going to throw your hands up in exasperation and
Right.
go do something stupid because you've never had to deal with this before.
right.
You've never had to confront your own mortality.
Exactly. And even the people that never went to war, my great grandpa, he never went to war. His older brother, joined up and ended up dying in a shipwreck in Newfoundland. And my great grandpa said it was really hard on him that he could not join up, because he was the last male alive. And at that time, they wouldn't draft or let you join up.
Yeah.
You were the last male in your family.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't. So that was something that made life hard for him. And then obviously he lost his brother, had to live through the Great Depression. But he didn't have only physical challenges.
Yeah.
He had mental challenges too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Because
we need to know why people appreciated life like they did. I think that's important to understand, and we need to find a way to appreciate it in our generation,
I completely agree with you.
because it comes back to the study of history.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. this is a conversation I had with a coworker the other day. She's like, I just don't like history. It's boring. I don't even get why we need to know history. She said those words. And I went, are you freaking kidding me?
Only you didn't say freaking. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's,
Stupid question.
I've
And
heard people say that, yes.
I kid you not. She goes, yeah, I know we need to know history because it repeats itself. And then I would just went, you freaking idiot.
Then what are you doing?
You freaking idiot.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, somebody else will know. I'm like,
No, they won't.
If everybody-
You are somebody else.
if everybody in your class says that, then nobody knows that.
Yeah.
And then I've started asking people the question, how did World War I start?
Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
I would take that as an acceptable answer.
There are several different
there's
answers.
several different answers.
That's the
general
one that everybody points to.
Right. And one thing that I like to do is I like to ask people the specifics on that. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, that's something I didn't even know till recently.
Where was he killed?
Okay. Frick. Now you're asking me. He was killed in Austria, yes?
Austria,
Yeah, he was
I
killed in
believe that's
Austria.
correct.
He was killed in Austria. Oh, shoot. What's the name of the country he was from, though? Because he wasn't from Austria.
He was from Austria. He wasn't killed in Austria. He was killed in Serbia.
Okay, that's right.
He was killed in Serbia,
He was killed
specifically Sarajevo.
Yes. Okay, so whenever I was explaining that, and I told them this, I was like, okay, look, it's been a little while. I've slept multiple times.
Yeah.
And I processed 6,000 pieces of information a day.
Of course.
But, so I just had my countries flipped. He was killed in Serbia. That's right. And so Austria got PO'd at Serbia because Serbia didn't do a good job at security, blah, blah, blah. There's a long line of beef and revolution and family trying to kill family.
Okay, one sec. We're looking this up. I just looked up Sarajevo. It's the capital of Bosnia.
Okay, so what we're learning here is that both of us are undereducated fools that like to pretend like we know
The
stuff.
assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand was... Okay, so kind of... Okay, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, this is from... I'm not going to go with history.com. I don't really trust history.com because it's history.com, and they're associated with the History Channel.
History Channel's
The assassination, he and his wife were assassinated. So he was the heir to the presumptive to the Austro-Hungarian throne.
Okay, yeah.
He and his wife, Sophie,
Yes.
her name was Sophie,
Yes.
were assassinated on the 28th of June, 1914. I thought it was 1914. They were shot at close range while being driven through Sarajevo, the provincial capital of Bosnia-Herzegovina, by a Bosnian Serb.
Yes.
So
Yes, this is right. Yeah. I listened to like 4 podcasts on this like 3 months ago.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's why it's like
yeah,
it's there. It's just flip-flop and jambled. Like somebody threw it in a Yahtzee container and shook it up real aggressively.
yeah, absolutely. We had most of the elements there. We were just wrong on where Sarajevo was.
Yeah. But nobody can tell me. Like there was this one person, the closest somebody got. So we're all like public schoolers. The closest one of them could get was they were like, didn't like some Austrian dude get shot or something like that? Like was it a Duke?
Yeah.
So like he was kind of close,
Yeah.
but I was like, what was this guy's name? He's like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's like Franz. He just stared at me blankly.
Franz Ferdinand.
Franz. And then he goes, oh, Franz Ferdinand. It's like,
Good job. You got it. Gold star.
it took
Now
5
I'm
minutes.
taking away your gold star because it took you 5 minutes.
Yeah. So we really need to study history. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
there are parts, I love history, but there are parts of history I just can't do.
Okay.
Oklahoma history is one of them. Part of that is because of my teacher, though. Like, she just...
Okay. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to end. We are going to end this section of the podcast here. Then we're going to pop back with episode 2 on
Next
the
week.
importance of history and learning history. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. I mean, we really went from Chaos Incarnate to one of the most mature topics ever.
Yeah. We brought chaos into order. Downright biblical, my man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and
Toodles.
this has been Regarding Everything, signing off.